The journey to a title is often paved with bumps and roadblocks.
Wade is just having a very, very difficult game here.
Sometimes it's all about survival.
The circus is in town. He's just breaking the game open right now.
Now, after staring down adversity, Miami has a chance to finish off the Pacers. But it won't be easy.
It'll be a great environment, and we've got to hold up our end of the deal in terms of coming out and performing well.
Can Indiana send this physical and bruising series to a decisive Game 7?
It's intense, you know, emotions running high, things getting a little chippy.
Or will Miami get halfway home to a title? Heat. Pacers. Game 6 from Indianapolis is next on ESPN.
This series has been chippy since Game 1. The teams have gone at each other from the get, and the Heat will be without 2 front court players tonight after Game 5 flagrant fouls. Haslam, Pittman, both suspended for Game 6.
Michael, the Heat won Game 5 by getting up and down in transition. They scored 29 fast break points, and Miami is a perfect 6-0 when they score at least 14 fast break points.
Magic Dwayne Wade has found his groove, scoring 28 points in Game 5. Since a disappointing 5-point effort in Game 3, Wade has averaged 29 points on 58% shooting from the floor.
And let's give LeBron James some credit. He's simply taken over. After Game 5, he joined Oscar Robertson and Dolph Schayes as the only players to post back-to-back 30-point, 10-rebound, and 8-assist games. And now the Heat have a chance to advance.
Yeah, the game of basketball is physical, period. You know, when you're in a series, it's shown a lot more because you're playing the same team over and over again. When you play in the regular season time, you're playing against teams constantly that are physical teams. Guys take hard hits. Tough hits. It's a no-layup kind of mentality at times. So it gets that way, and you got to try to find a way to pick yourself back up and go and move on.
Remember, less than a week ago, Miami was in a 2-1 hole heading into Game 4 in Indy. The Heat have won their last 2 because of their big 2. They're averaging a combined 64 points in the last 2 games, both shooting over 55% from the field, combining for 20 boards and almost 13 assists.
For the Pacers tonight in a series that has certainly had its share of, shall we say, extracurricular activities. We've had suspensions, flagrant fouls, technical fouls, yes, some cheap shots as well, an awful lot of joy, the usual playoff rhetoric, but much of it just good old-fashioned NBA playoff basketball. And some fouls certainly harder than others as we get set for Game 6 before a sellout crowd here in Indianapolis. Look at the summary. There's a lot of fouling going on, a lot of trips to the free throw line, and of course the key, the suspensions, 2 of them.
Over the years, we've seen superstars rise to the occasion in the playoffs. In the last 2 games, Miami's superstars have dominated the Pacers. Will they continue? All the drama and passion of another playoff Game 6 coming up next.
29-6 that they outscored the Indiana Pacers in transition. They're undefeated when they win the transition game. So how do you stop transition basketball? You pound it inside. You quit taking 3-point shots. You quit taking quick shots. Indiana has to do this if they're going to win. 40% of their field goal attempts, the Pacers, are 3-point shots.
Discipline.
Yeah. You have to.
On our game tonight in Indy, which is getting used to hosting big sporting events in 2012. Tonight is the Pacers Super Bowl, if you will. Win, go back to Miami, lose to Dwayne Wade, and it's off to the Indy 500 this week.
Dwayne Wade and the Heat, they're only 2-2 on the road in these playoffs. Another big road test for Miami is coming up on ESPN. Get your engines revved up for Game 6 in Indy.
Soft. See, it woke them up to say, you know what? Okay, we've taken a beating for the first 3 games. We didn't know how to deal with it, but now we do. And now you can hit me all you want. I'm going to walk up to the free throw line, hit the 2 free throws, or you just woke me up to say, I'm going to play my best because it's going to take my best for us to win this series. And that may carry over to the next series. I really like how
LeBron James has scored at least 20 points in each of the last 11 playoff clinching games on the road. That's a streak, the longest one in the league after Kobe Bryant. JB, the MVP's been playing like an MVP in the last couple of games in this series.
Is there anything more than an MVP we could call him? Because this guy's taking his game to another level. Look, we talked about after the finals last year, he had to improve moving without the basketball, not staying in one place. Great cut there, gets the open dunk. Use of pick and roll. This guy's a terrific pick and roll player. He gets in the middle of the lane. Anytime he gets in the middle of your paint, you are finished. He can finish, he can play make, he can do whatever he wants. You're at his mercy. Now he's even put the runner in the game. We've seen that in this series. And finally, the straight line drive and early transition. There has been nobody in the game better than LeBron James on the break going to the basket. He's been sensational in this series. Check this out. Without Chris Bosh to maneuver down low, it's been LeBron who's picked up the slack with the points in the paint. He leads the league in points in the paint this postseason. He's scored more than 50% of the Heat's point in the paint this series alone. By the way, Dwayne Wade is right behind him at 12.5 points a game. They don't win the transition game, Miami, they don't win. Look, really quick, I want to spin this forward to Miami going forward. This team as it's constructed right now, let's say Bosh doesn't play. Can they win the championship? Are they good enough? I mean,
well,
yes, these two guys have been impressive, but
if Bosh doesn't play, I don't think.
Let's look at this team.
If he does, maybe they're looking a lot better.
And the last point I want to bring up.
Welcome to Game 6 in Indianapolis. Miami Heat leading this conference semifinal 3-2, looking to advance while the Pacers hoping to keep their season alive. A sellout crowd in Indianapolis as we look at how the playoffs are shaping up. Brought to you by ASICS. Philadelphia, Boston will have a Game 7 on Saturday night. Will there be a Game 7 tonight? Meanwhile, San Antonio and Oklahoma City will start their series Sunday night in Texas as the 2012 NBA playoffs continue. This one has been a rough, aggressive, rugged, at times pugnacious series. Right now, LeBron James and the Heat looking to clinch and move on to the conference finals. There's the starting lineups with no Udonis Haslem out with a 1-game suspension. So Ronny Turiaf starts at center. Battier and James up front. Wade and Chalmers in the backcourt for Eric Spoelstra. And for Frank Vogel and his Pacers, the usual starting five, a very deep team that have played well and had big wins at home all season long. And those two players, Hibbert and West, so vital tonight. As we welcome you here to Game 6, along with Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Doris Burke with us as well. And Jeff, you said at the top, Hibbert and West, so vital for this team when they've gone to them, when they've been an integral part of the offense. It's proved to be successful for the Pacers.
But give Miami credit, done a very good job of fronting the post, denying the elbow, make George Hill miss this initial help. Watch George Hill, he's not in, that's his help. You cannot allow the ball to be consistently attacking your bigs by Wade and James, or it's going to result into fouls. Good step through
by 7.
Well, in transition, good simple find by Mario Chalmers to the slashing Dwayne Wade. These are the baskets you've got to try to eliminate for Miami.
Key players for the Pacers, the two leaders. And after one here in Game 6, it's Indiana by 7.
Well, again, another turnover by the Pacers. And behind the back pass, the bobble.
It's pretty close. Right now, it's a 13-2 run.
Well, you're watching Wade run multiple pick and rolls. Gets a good angle, then splits David West, and then slides by Hibbert. That's
Miami trying to move on to the conference finals. What a performance from Wade in the first half with 26. But Indiana, you know, will not go down without a fight. Ranger and the Pacers lead by 2. Difficulties rather high.
Well, we saw the arc on the one shot over Hibbert. Here's another one. That ball's up around the shot clock, and then it arcs down and kisses off the glass. I mean, that's just remarkable touch. And the danger of helping on the greatness of James is opening up the three-point game. Solid strategy, good late contest by Collison, but just a terrific play by James. And here a nice finish going to his left. And Wade has had a special evening so far. Open three, hasn't been shooting it well. Nice play. If you're Hibbert, you've got to get up in the air and challenge that shot.
And most importantly, Granger with his 5th foul. Granger's committed 2 really unnecessary fouls to put him in. Pacers scored, and Wade answers at the other end. These are tough shots that he has practiced and perfected.
Yeah, the little floater in the lane, so you don't have. It's such a difficult cover for him. He's trying to get up and trap, but the split and the attack.
38 points now for Wade. The lead back up to 10.
And what's underrated about that, Mike, is Dwayne.
Drive to the basket. Back-to-back key buckets from James. Pacers had cut it to 6. He hits 2 in a row, and it's back to 10 with 1.5 minutes to play. They will await the winner. As you see, 2 terrific young coaches offering congratulations. There are some words back and forth, the usual playoff rhetoric, but now the respect comes through. Always like this scene, Jeff.
Yeah, now some of the Pacers left the court without shaking hands, and I have absolutely no problem with that. You don't need to be buddy-buddy after the game, but the guys that stuck around and meant it, I'm fine with that too.
Oh, George Hill, one of the fine young players for the Pacers. But it was Dwayne Wade, 41 points. LeBron James had 40 in Game 4. And Wade, 3 unbelievable performances. 30, 28, and 41. Final score in Game 6. Heat eliminate the Pacers 105-93. Up next is Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, as we say so long from Indianapolis.